What's up, guys, and welcome back to No Call Entertainment. This is Matt.
It's Ariane.
And this is something new that we will be doing every winter, which is the winter Netflix Roundup.
I think it's like more like a... Is it going to be just for the winter, or like we're doing it throughout the year, really? This is just...
Well, we're doing movie reviews throughout the year, but this is specifically... This will probably be the only time we focus on Netflix. And the reason for that being is it's winter. No one wants to go outside, least of all us. Snow is evil. The night is dark and full of terrors.
This is also true, yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. So we decided that we would do a Netflix roundup every winter of movies you should watch while you're at home hiding from the outside. First we'll start. We're highlighting two films. This is going to be a two-part series. We're highlighting two films in this one, two films in the next one, and we're also going to be doing some honorable mentions throughout.
So can I just say that this one is free of spoilers. We'll be reviewing these movies, or at least discussing them on a different stream, so that way people who may have seen the movie can join in the conversation. But at least in this one, people who have not, we are doing this primarily to help, hopefully, encourage people to take a look at these movies or make their own decision as to whether they think it's something worthwhile, so forth and so on. So,
okay, so just a couple of honorable mentions first. I'm going to start off with 8 Mile. It just got added in December. Eminem's movie. We are both fans of Eminem. While it's not, it's not the greatest acting in the world, but it does have pretty good direction, pretty good cinematography, and honestly, the rap battles, I could still watch those out of context whenever, just because they're so well done. So that's my first honorable mention.
Mine actually is Schindler's List, and I know that movie is long, I know that movie is rough, but it's also a fantastic fucking movie. I only watched it for the first time earlier this week, partially because I know me and Matt talked about it. Like, it was one of the films that was shown while he was growing up in school, that when you're watching a movie, like your history class is doing something or your English class is doing something, and they'll do a movie that's based on the time frame that you're looking at or the book that you're reading, to try and help translate it for the students. And we never watched Schindler's List when I was growing up. It was out, but I was in middle school when it came out, but we never watched it. And just knowing what it was about, I resisted largely because of knowing how rough it is. Which is weird, because in general, I typically am not really shy about rough. And so finally one day I sat down, like, do I have 3.5 hours to watch a movie? Well, I did it for Titanic. So, which is also, that's actually a Hulu, but whatever. Yeah, like, Schindler's List I sat down and watched, and amazing freaking movie. If you've already seen it, I understand it's difficult to go back and watch it, but I think it's important to do so. I hope to at some point do it again. And I will not wait another 20 freaking years to do it. So, that's my honorable mention.
So one more each, I think, and then we'll go into the highlights?
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright, so my next honorable mention is Star Wars Rogue One.
Nice.
In case Last Jedi does not fulfill your Star Wars craze, which none of them ever do, but hopefully Rian Johnson does a good job. We will be having a discussion about that this weekend. But anyway, Rogue One is just fun, okay? It's a good story. It's a lot of fun. Some interesting characters are in there. A weird cameo by Forrest Whitaker. A lot of Easter eggs from fans of the franchise. And the last 10 minutes of the movie alone is worth the first hour and a half.
I also really enjoyed Star Wars Rogue One, Rogue One, a Star Wars story. I actually think it's one of my favorite Star Wars movies, and people who are huge fans of the series can irately text me or whatever on Facebook if they want, but that's my opinion.
I know, that's why they have a comment section, sweetheart.
Yes, comment section, sorry. But yes. my pick for honorable mention, I'm actually kind of scrambling here. I don't really have any off the top of my head. The one that I always go to is just a very familiar one for me. Is Archer. It's one of my favorite shows on TV right now. If I had to go up another one, I'd say The League, but I actually honestly don't know for certain that it's still on Netflix. But I'm gonna go with Archer just because I could watch that show. I literally do watch that show almost every day.
I didn't know we were doing series as well.
Well, we've already done our honorable mentions. We can do series next time when you do one. But
well, no, if we're doing TV series, then
we're going to go another round then.
Well, no, we won't go one more round, but I am going to add another main event.
What's that?
You know what?
What?
The only series I would main event on here on Netflix.
Okay, yeah, we should add that one on there.
Yeah. So, the first main event highlight of the evening will be which one?
Train to Busan.
Okay. Train to Busan. Look it up if you haven't yet. It is a Korean film. Oh my god. If you can handle subtitles, which I know some people just can't handle it, but honestly, even if you can't, you should give this film a shot.
Yeah, give it a try.
The special effects, the visuals, the acting, even if you can't understand what they're saying, the gestures and the
emotion,
pantomiming and the emotion really translates across all languages, and you can really get the gist of what's going on.
Yeah.
So basically, what Train to Busan is a short synopsis because this is the spoiler-free version. Where it follows a Korean father and his daughter as they take a train to visit her mother, and it just so happens to be happening at the start of the zombie apocalypse. Now, I know zombies has been done to death. Has been done to death.
This is the 2016 movie, so this is on the tail end of the zombie craze, I guess if you want to say.
Walking Dead is pretty much the only decent one that's been coming out lately. I mean, we had that nice little cluster of, like, Zombieland, and there were a few others.
Everything carrying up to, like, 2012, and then a few
Shaun of the Dead, and things like that, you know. There's
zombie culture
been good ones, and they're starting to die off a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially with that. What was that one called with the zombie who's still somewhat human and falls in love and ugh. But anyway,
Warm Bodies.
Yeah, that one. God Almighty. Just a terrible premise. Anyway, Train to Busan is the first horror movie in a while, and the first zombie movie in a while and the first movie in a while that I am giving a 10 out of 10. Just hands down, 10 out of 10. I was fighting it up until the ending just because I didn't want to say that, you know, it's 10 movie before I saw the ending. But after seeing the entire thing now, this is a 10 movie and everyone should watch it.
I agree. I don't know if I would say it's a 10, but because it's really hard for me to give any movie a 10, but I'm going to give it a 10.
Oh, listen there, yeah.
Mainly because I am a very hard critic on horror movies in general, and this one was one of the few that has made me jump when I needed to, be invested in the characters, involved in the story, and absolutely not, like, I was angry when I was supposed to be angry and scared when I was supposed to be scared. Like, there was never a point where I was like, I was angry when I was supposed to be scared and waiting for something stupid to, like, save everybody. Like, that doesn't say that doesn't happen because it's still a horror movie, so there are certain tropes that happen anyway. But, I mean, in general, I was able to be invested in the whole thing, and it never broke that for me.
And that's what I was about to bring up, is it actually made you forget about the tropes, which is not easy.
No, when it comes to horror movies, I'm almost always looking for them. And in this one, it may have been because it was a foreign film that it kind of threw me off a little bit. But I don't know if that's entirely true. So giving it the benefit of the doubt, I'm going to say this movie is a 10, largely because it's probably one of the best horror movies that I feel like I've seen in a long time, and probably actually in general. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it there.
Make sure you see Train to Busan.
It's absolutely riveting.
The next highlight main event is First They Killed My Father.
Yes. Another foreign film, by the way. Well, not even a foreign film.
No, it's a domestic film. It's just not whitewashed.
No, well, and it's done largely in subtitles. It's done
Yeah.
from the perspective of a little girl who is going through
I don't know if you guys have heard the story of, was it Leon?
I don't know how to pronounce it.
I don't want to butcher the name. I apologize for that.
I have to Google it to see how it's pronounced it correctly. Keep going.
But anyway, so it's done from her perspective. Now, I do have some critiques of the movie, which there will be a spoiler-rich version of this coming out next.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go into those right now. I give it a solid 7.5. Meaning everyone should watch this movie. I think it's a very important movie to watch. Film-wise, I had some issues with it, but that's film-wise. Story-wise, it was fantastic. It was riveting. I was invested in the characters. I cared about the characters. So solid 7.5, maybe an 8. Push an 8. But yeah, I highly recommend everyone at least watch that over the winter.
I give it probably a solid 8, 8.5. So probably because of the film things that you were talking about before, as far as like some of the technique they use, keep the audience interest in investment. But that being said, it was still a fantastic story. It's still a fantastic way of telling it. It's based off of a true story of the person. Like it's Long. I'm not certain how to pronounce it correctly. I couldn't find it.
Leong.
No, Loung.
I thought there was an E.
There is another version where it's Leung, but throughout the subtitles it's spelled Lo.
I apologize. I don't know this lady very well. She's
an activist in a campaign for I'm looking up again. Landmine-free world. Yeah, she's a national spokesperson for the campaign for a landmine-free world. And
which makes a lot of sense now.
But yeah, it's based off of her experience as a young child growing up in Cambodia during the reign of the Khmer Rouge, and so it's it doesn't take someone else's different name and make it from that person's perspective. It is her story essentially, and it's
another rough one.
It is absolutely a rough movie, but it is a fantastic watch. It's very well done. I don't know if this is how many other movies Angelina Jolie has directed. I don't know if that makes a difference to anyone watching or not. But it was very, very well done. Incredible direction, and just that would be my that's my opinion. But yeah.
All right, and our final highlight main event is a TV series that we found completely on accident. Just kind of fell into it. It's called Mindhunters.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes. You mentioned it in a previous stream, but now we're going to actually review it.
Yeah, because I loved Jessica Jones.
Okay.
I thought Jessica Jones was one of the best Netflix series I had seen. This blew it out of the water for me. Don't get me wrong. Jessica Jones is a solid 8. But this one I give a 9, 9.5 easy. Mindhunters tells the story of a young man in the FBI who was a hostage negotiator and decides to start the criminal psychology profiling division of the FBI.
It's not even necessarily that he starts it. It really is more a story of how it came into being.
Yes.
And it's set in the 1970s, like the late 60s, early 1970s.
Very recent after Manson.
Yeah. And it's absolutely fascinating. If you're into crime shows at all, I think that this will be something that you'll find interesting. If you're not into crime shows, I think this will still be an interesting, just character study. And just in general, it's... so many things I can't talk about right now because they're spoiler free. But just you should watch it, give it a chance, let it suck you in, and just enjoy it.
Yeah, I remember I watched the first 2 or 3 episodes without Arian because I had to wait outside of GameStop for midnight release, And I was watching. I'm like, oh, I think you should really give this one a shot. I've watched 3 episodes, so you can watch 3 episodes. Let me know what you think. And I left her, and she was off that day, I think.
I think I was starting the second episode.
Yeah.
I had watched the first one while you were getting ready to
Yeah.
leave, and then I started the second episode.
Yeah, so she starts the second episode, and she has the day off, so I go to work, and...
No, you were just going out to game that day.
Oh, okay. But either way, so I leave, and I come back, and I'm like, so what'd you think? How many episodes did you finish? And she goes, oh, I don't know, 7?
6. I finished 6. I had to stop myself before the 7th one started.
Doubled my production.
Just ate it all. By the way, you mentioned Jessica Jones, which we can always do another. We should do another stream on just the Marvel series at some point. But
yeah.
Jessica Jones was actually out of all the ones. I know we talked about this.
That
with
means
other
we'll
friends.
have to watch Iron Fist.
I know. But yeah, Jessica Jones is probably my favorite of all the Marvel series on Netflix. However, I actually think that Glow beat it for me in my estimation, but Mindhunter still beat this one. Now, don't get me wrong, I love all 3 of those, and I cannot wait till they start, but I'm probably more on pins and needles for Mindhunter, and almost as much on pins and needles for Glow. I can't wait till Glow starts, and we will do one for that one as well.
No, yeah, we'll go into that at some point, but
probably closer to when that show comes back.
Yeah, so those are our recommendations, at least part 1 for the winter. Those are our highlights. We will have another one on Wednesday, part 2, where we will be highlighting 2 more Netflix original movies. I think we can go ahead and say what they are.
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to be reviewing Spectral, an action-adventure, shoot-em-up, sci-fi, supernatural, interesting premise. And The Babysitter, which looks like a really stupid, campy horror movie that doesn't take itself seriously, which we love those,
generally.
Vis-a-vis Cabin in the Woods.
This is true. So yeah.
Look forward to that. We'll be going over those. We'll also come up with a few more honorable mentions for you to watch. And maybe a series or 2 for you to splurge. So thanks for joining us for the spoiler-free version. Make sure you stick around for our spoiler-full discussion of those 2 movies and possibly Mindhunters.
Particularly
next.
If you haven't watched, particularly if you have watched any of those, then please stick around. Particularly if you watched all of those, stick around. If you haven't, but you are okay with getting the synopsis and additional spoilers, that might either further inform your opinion or to join in on the discussion, by all means, join us on the other half.
If you've just watched the movies and you want to hear our take on it, just feel free to jump in and love us and like and subscribe and follow and get notifications from us and all that fun stuff. So for No Collar Entertainment, this is Matt.
This is Ariane.
We're out.
Bye.